There are two types of women portrayed in the Bible, the godly woman and the ungodly woman. On one hand, we have the virtuous examples, the Proverbs 31 woman. Esther, Ruth, and Hannah, women who embody qualities of prayerfulness, courage, wisdom, and reverence for God. Their worth is described as far above rubies and pearls. But today, let's explore the other side, the ungodly woman. These are women who serve as warnings, showing us the destructive paths of bitterness, manipulation, and disobedience. The Bible cautions us about the influence of such ungodly women. For example, Proverbs 9:13 describes her as restless and noisy, naive, and easily misled. Proverbs 21:19 even states, "It is better to live in a desert than with a contentious and troublesome woman." Let's take a closer look at three specific examples of ungodly women in the Bible: Delilah, Herodias, and Jezebel. Delilah. Samson, a man gifted with supernatural strength, fell in love with Delilah, a relationship that would ultimately lead to his downfall. Delilah was sent by the Philistines to discover the secret of Samson's strength. Although Samson was warned against forming bonds with outsiders, he was blinded by his attraction to Delilah. She manipulated him persistently, coaxing the secret of his strength from him and betraying him for money. This story teaches us that not everyone who appears to care for you truly has your best interests at heart. Delilah's motives were selfish, and her actions led to Samson's defeat. It's a reminder to discern the true intentions of those we allow into our lives. Herodias. Herodias was married to Herod Antipas, and both were divorced. John the Baptist denounced their marriage, calling it unlawful, which deeply angered Herodias. Her bitterness became so consuming that she manipulated her daughter to ask for John's head as a gift, ultimately leading to his execution. Herodias is a powerful example of how anger and pride can cloud judgment and lead to irrational, even murderous actions. Instead of using her influence for peace, she led her own daughter into sin, turning a family bond into a tool for manipulation. This contrasts sharply with a godly woman who uses her influence to bring those around her closer to God. Jezebel. Perhaps one of the most infamous ungodly women, Jezebel was a queen married to King Ahab. She was ruthless, promoting idol worship and murder to further her own ambitions. Jezebel is often associated with seduction and promiscuity, but her core traits were manipulation, control, and a complete disregard for authority. She incited fear, even forcing the prophet Elijah to flee. A Jezebel spirit is one that seeks power and control, often through intimidation and fear. Unlike God's spirit, which brings peace and soundness of mind, Jezebel's influence spread fear and chaos. She was determined to undermine God's work at every turn. What can we learn from Delilah, Herodias, and Jezebel? Proverbs 31:30 reminds us, "Charm and grace are deceptive, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised." True godliness isn't about appearances or outward acts. It's rooted in worship, obedience, service, and trust in God. Influence is powerful. A godly woman like Esther uses her influence for good, inspiring others to trust in God and pursue righteousness. But an ungodly influence, like that of Jezebel, leads others into sin and hinders God's work. Choose to cultivate the kind of influence that brings light, healing, and wisdom.